Welcome back to Girl Talk. Today we're going to be talking about car tips, correct? Car care tips a little bit later. But first we're talking about Edvest accounts, and I'm here with Nicole of Broyles & Company CPAs. Thanks for being here today, Nicole.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. So first off, what is an Edvest account? I know for me personally, I have no clue.
It is a way to save money for children's higher education. Anyone who's going to go past high school to any sort of post-secondary education is a way to set money aside tax-free. The state of Wisconsin sponsors it. Most states have a savings account of this type, and they're referred to as 529 accounts, and that allows them to save money for education expenses later on.
And you said tax-free.
That's correct.
Wow, that's huge.
So what are the implications then regarding taxes and savings?
On the federal and the state, both, any earnings that grow within the account. So the account is invested in some sort of mutual fund. You get to choose. There's about 20 different accounts you can choose from and types of investments that you want the money to be invested in. The interest, the dividends, the growth on that account is not taxed by Wisconsin or the IRS. And at the same time, Wisconsin has an added benefit in that the contribution you make to that account is a deduction on your state return, up to $3,100 per child. So if you have 3 kids, you could put in $9,300, $3,100 for each child, and get a $9,300 deduction on your state tax return that year.
Wow. That sounds great all around. Sort of kind of double dip, get it on both ends.
Exactly. It is a great way to save money. And if you have parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, you have a child who has a birthday, anybody can put money into that 529 account. It doesn't have to be just the parent. And it's the parent who controls the money. The account is in the parent's name for the benefit of the child. So the child can't get to the money and spend it in any way. The parent has control of that account completely.
It's such a great way. I mean, I know so many parents out there that have everything already for their kids. It's fun to buy clothes, it's fun to buy toys, but at some point you have enough things.
Yes.
And what a wonderful way to be able to give a birthday gift or something that they can use in the future.
I did that for both a niece and a nephew. I put money into their 529 account since they were young, and because they have parents and grandparents who are giving them the toys and the things, the fun things.
Right, and later when they get that good job, they can thank you for the help to get into college.
Nicole, just to follow up on that, let's say an aunt or an uncle makes that contribution. How do they, I guess, record that in their tax return?
They get the benefit of. They have the proof that they made the contribution.
proof?
They write the check. They have their canceled check.
okay.
They have the disbursement out to that
That's what I
account,
was wondering.
and that's the proof they need then too. And you do have to report on the return the child's name and the account number. So there is a cross-check on
That's
this
what I was
government
looking for,
side to
sure.
see, how much money went into that account to verify that the contribution is valid.
Very cool.
Yeah,
the gifts
makes
that keeps on giving.
Yes.
And
Education.
Really quick question too is Edvest, maybe excuse me if you already answered this, but Edvest, I've heard of a 529. Is that a specific sort of brand of 529, or what makes that? What does that name?
The 529 is an IRS code.
Okay.
That specifies or identifies all types of education savings accounts. So if it's a 529 account, then Indiana, Illinois, they all have their own 529 account. And
So Edvest is the specific to Wisconsin.
exactly,
I see.
right.
Okay, got
But
it.
the funds don't have to be used in Wisconsin. The child can go to school anywhere across the United States, go to any school and use that money for any college.
Gotcha. All right, I'm with you.
Kind of going off of that, for what education expenses can people use the Edvest funds for?
The IRS defines what's considered a qualified education expense. For most part right now, it's room and board if you are at least a half-time student, in addition to the regular tuition, fees, supplies, books, and if the course requires any special equipment, that can be considered a qualified education expense as well.
Very cool.
Wow, tuition and board, or other than tuition, that's really helpful because
Yeah.
those other expenses really add up too.
Yes.
What happens if you miraculously don't use all of the funds?
If you don't, it doesn't, it's not a use it or lose it situation. So the money can be transferred to another sibling and put into their account and used for their benefit. Or it could be transferred over to the parent and they maybe use it for their master's. They go back to school and get a new degree.
So any education, but you may need to transfer it.
Transfer to another beneficiary's account.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Nicole. We have so
Thank
many
you.
questions. It's such an interesting topic, so we appreciate it.
Appreciate
Stay
it.
tuned to Girl Talk. We'll be right back after this.